And what would you say to somebody who's listening to this or watching this right now and they're looking to become happier? They're not happy with where they're at on the continuum right now, and they want to start out maybe with some easier, base hits, things that can get the momentum going because, if they're not in a happy place right now, it might take a lot of motivation even to do the small things. So, let's talk about what some of those small things somebody can do to hopefully catalyze down the line some of the bigger shifts.
Great. So, when I talk about happiness, I essentially divide it into five elements. Um, I They are what I've come to call the SPIRE elements of happiness. SPIRE as an acronym. So the S stands for spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is about finding a sense of meaning and purpose. It's about being present in the here and now. Physical well being, that's the P of SPIRE, is about nutrition, it's about exercise, it's about rest and recovery. Intellectual well being, the I of SPIRE, is about curiosity, about learning. For example, there's research showing that people who ask questions, who are curious, who continuously learn, are not just happier, they're not just more successful, they also live longer. In other words, it's associated with longevity. So that's intellectual well-being. Then there is relational well-being. About number one predictor of happiness is about quality time we spend with people we care about and who care about us. Um, and it's also about relationship with ourselves. And finally, the E of SPIRE is emotional well-being, and that's about learning to deal with painful emotions as well as cultivating pleasurable emotions like gratitude, like love, like joy. Now, when we look at this model, SPIRE, spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional, within each one of these elements, we can find very simple, accessible, straightforward interventions. Yes, we can spend our entire lives learning it. Yes, when it comes to spiritual well being, I can read Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, and I can read the Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle, and I can certainly delve deeply into Middlemarch by Marianne Evans. However, I can also, at the very fundamental basic level, increase my spiritual well being by starting a meditation practice which, spending 3 minutes a day, closing my eyes, focusing on the breath going in and out. And that, in and of itself, can shift the needle. Now, the reason why 3 minutes can shift the needle, or sometimes even less, is because what those minutes do is they initiate an upward spiral where I feel better doing it. And as a result of feeling better, I'll also feel better a minute after. So I'll be a little bit nicer to the person I see, who will in turn be a bit nicer to me. And then I'll work a bit better because I'm in a better mood, and doing better work will put me in even better mood, and on in an upward spiral. That's why small changes can and do make a big difference. So that's an example in spiritual well-being. In terms of physical well-being, exercise. Regular physical exercise, 30 minutes 3 times a week, not that much, has the same effect on our psychological well being as our most powerful psychiatric medication. With my kids, I don't look at the report card. I don't ask them how they were doing in school. If there's a problem, the teacher will call me up. If they want to share something, they'll share it. But otherwise, I don't ask. But I do always ask about their sports, their athletics. Did you exercise? Did you move? Because this is so important, whether it's for children or adults. It's important for healthy development, it's important for coherent thinking, and it's important for psychological well being. So, regular physical exercise, moving, is critical. Then, intellectual well being, learning new things, engaging the things that you're passionate about. And that could be it could be that you're passionate about Sanskrit literature, or it could be that you're passionate about paper mache. It doesn't matter, but learn, ask, be curious. Then relational well-being, spend quality time with people you care about and who care about you. And quality time means not being together with them while you're on the phone and doing work at the same time. Really be there, listen, be listened to, support, be supported. And these are um, magical experiences um, in terms of increasing our happiness levels. So that's relational well being. And finally, an example of emotional well being is embrace painful emotions rather than reject them. There's a paradox at play here, and that is when we reject painful emotions such as sadness or anger or frustration, when we don't allow these emotions to flow through us and we put a block on them, they actually intensify, they grow stronger. Moreover, we become also um, closed to shut off to pleasurable emotions when we reject painful emotions. In other words, feeling love, the antecedent of it is the ability to experience envy. Feeling excitement, the antecedent of that is anxiety. Feeling joy, we also need to feel sadness, two sides of the same coin. And then cultivating pleasurable emotions, and this is a very simple intervention that Oprah taught us initially, and ever since then there's been a lot of research on it, is expressing gratitude. Whether it's by keeping a gratitude journal and writing at the end of the day 3 things that you're grateful for, or writing a person a gratitude letter, a letter of appreciation that makes a big difference to the person receiving it, to you writing it, and of course to the relationship. So these are some ways of relatively straightforward, accessible ways of increasing levels of well being in a deep and lasting way.